Hello everybody, my name is Zach, aka The Weather Gamer, bringing you a team takeover for the Victory Battle League. It's a league run by Cammy, aka Cam Eruption, coach of your Houston Dynamos. You guys know him from Underdogs and Indigo, and we might have played? No, TBC we wouldn't have played yet. This video is going up about 2 weeks after I joined, and there were only 3 weeks left in the season. So the season may be over by the time these videos go up. It's just recording schedule. Cammy messaged me the morning that I am recording this and said, "Hey, I got 3 weeks left. You want to take over a team? It's 3-3 with a chance at playoffs still. You also get to battle me, and I know you've been wanting to get a rematch for a while now." I said, sure, let me look it over, see what it is, see what the free agent situation is, and I'll think about it. I looked at the free agent situation, I looked at the team, I was like, okay, for 3 weeks, I'll do it. I'll just, it's 3 weeks, I can try some different stuff. I don't have another league right now, with WWC ending and APA over and LDL over. I literally just have TBC and that's it. Unless I got into SBT, which I might have, I don't know, at time of recording. But, so I said, sure, I'll take this on. The original team was Dracovish, Rotom Heat, Whimsicott, Umbreon, Acelgor, Goodra, Gmax Kingler, Sylvari, Hippowdon, Weezing, and Duraludon. Cammy gave me 3 additional moves to the 4 that I had for the season. So I ended up making all 7 transactions to turn this team into a completely different team. One that was more fitting for me. I liked the Vish on sand, but the problem is there was nothing to make like a sand team left in the transactions. So I said, no, we're going to pivot and build a different team, and we'll get into that. But I just wanted to give you guys a quick history on VBL, because I've never done anything with this league before, so I said, hey Cammy, you want to give me a quick history so I can at least say some stuff about VBL before I jump into the team? And he said, sure. So he basically founded it early in his draft league career. It's essentially his version of WWC. He did it with a bunch of friends. Struggles with coaches flaking out, full season into playoffs. Season 2 just wasn't much noteworthy other than it being stronger and more successful. Season 3, he tried to expand from 12 to 16 coaches. Season 3 started, I'm reading off a doc he sent me. Season 3 started strong, but started to crumble about halfway through. Ridiculous extensions. Called it quits around week 8. Playoffs never happened, and the server stayed dead for about 6 months. So it was originally the Victory Battle League, and now it's got the Reborn because he rebooted the season, and he's trying to revive the league, and so far it's gone smoothly. A few things that are unique to VBL. If the Gmax is drafted, the standard form is taken away, and vice versa. If the standard form is taken, the Gmax is taken out of play. So in theory, you could take the Gmax you want, and then if you don't want an opposing Gmax taken, you take the corresponding non-Gmax spawn to do that. So that made it a little tricky for me to build this team as well, and I'll talk about that when I go over my Gmax, but yeah, Cammy asked me to join in and help, and I said sure. So, I'm 3-3 minus 1. I'm 7th out of 10th. Top 4 make playoffs, and there's a 5-1, a 4-2, a 4-2, a 4-2. That's your playoff teams right now. So playoffs are literally just 1 spot difference. So, but yeah, that's just where we're at. With the VBL, so that's enough chit-chat about the league and the history. Let's get into the part that you guys are here for, which is what mons did I draft? Well, Takeover. So, I did scrap sand completely. and I'm just going to go tier 1 down, how I do this. I did scrap Sand completely. They're just, like I said, there weren't the pieces for Sand. There was no G-Max that fit in Sand. Drill was on a different team. Hippowdon and Vish, a Sand team does not make. So, I scrapped it and went in a different direction. I dropped Dracovish for Kelder. I know that seems incredibly strange, but you'll understand when we get to my Dragon type why I did that. I have used Kelder before, all the way back in FWL. That's the last time I drafted Kelder, just because usually it's too high up for me to grab points-wise, or I grab a different, I use a lot of Mega Fightings, or Terrakion, or other things. So I haven't actually had a chance to go back to Kelder. Now that it gets Defog, I do like that. This thing's a nightmare. It really is. I've always known it's been a strong fighting type, and it's very hard to defend against. It can still potentially two-shot Milotic unless it's max with Flame Orb Burn. It's such a physically oppressive presence. It can be very bulky as well with Assault Vest Guts. That way your opponent, you catch them on a Willow or a Toxic. If you don't show the Guts right off the bat, they'll think, oh, maybe they're Iron Fist, I can Will-O-Wisp. Nope, I'm Guts with an Assault Vest. It gets Mach Punch for priority. I believe it has Bullet Punch. It has Poison Jab for hitting opposing fairies trying to come in, Knock Off for opposing psychics. It just, once it's burned or toxic or statused in any way, Kelder just goes off. It has a field day, and I'm excited to actually get to use it again. It gives me a nice, big, beefy fighting type, which also gives me Defog, which, I need because I rarely ever get the correct hazard control, because I just don't think about hazards, because I don't play with hazards much. But that was my tier 1 to pick up Kelder. Now, this next pick, I'm going to get flamed for. I know I am, because I've bashed this mon so many times, but the reason I ditched Sand was so I could go Rain. There were the pieces to put together a competent Rain team lying around, and I said, yes, please, I will run this Rain. I hate the fact that I have to run Pelipper, but I do have some new ideas with Pelipper, because I've watched Duncan use it in WBE. I've used it myself in the Battle Tower when I need to go grind battle points to get ability capsules or a specific mint for APA Academy. I use their Rain team with Seismitoad and Ferrothorn and Pelipper, so I've gotten a little more comfortable with Pelipper, but I still think it's inferior to Politoed. Politoed is definitely the greater Rain setter. This is nice. Hurricanes never miss, giving it great stab. It does get access to Weather Ball. A lot of my team gets access to Weather Ball. I did not realize just how strong Weather Ball can be. So against opposing teams, if they try to take away my Rain by putting up Sun or Sand or Hail, they're giving me HP Ice, HP Rock, and HP Fire, essentially, which can be really, really nice. Obviously, it defogs as well. It can pivot with U-turn. Specs and Scarf are options. Damp Rock. It can be a very defensive mon with base 100 defense if it wants to. Just have to be careful that I don't catch T-bolts to the face, because of the fact that would be very bad. Tier 3, Whimsicott. I did end up keeping Whimsicott. I wanted to get Rillaboom instead of Kelder, but I couldn't make it work. From the number of transactions I needed to make, I just couldn't make it work. So I just said, you know what, I'll keep Whimsicott. It gives me a fairy type. I'm comfortable with Whimsicott. I've used it quite a bit. It's never offensively done a lot for me, but it has been a nuisance of a mon. When I've used it, it gives me T-Wave, so, if I can't bring Rain, but my Swift Swimmers still have a good game, I can use T-Wave to slow things down. I can Encore things, Priority Leech Seed. It does still have very good stab. It can be a good Specs or Life Orb user, potentially, even with the loss of Hidden Power. It gives me the fairy typing, obviously. And then it also is another pivot, allowing me to U-turn around as well. I do like Whimsicott. I just have been using other fairies lately, but... Sorry, I had a burp there. I do not mind having Whimsicott again. Also gives me 116 speed, which is really, really nice. Again, being Galar decks, speed tiers are literally a shit show. Until we get DLC and hopefully get those straightened out a little bit better. Speed tiers are just going to be crap, but I'm happy to have Whimsicott there as well. Umbreon I kept, mainly because I needed to keep 4 mons from this old team, and I chose to keep Umbreon instead of whatever else was there that I could have kept. Umbreon, it's like I said in TBC, it's a Wish Passer. It's a Cleric with Heal Bell. It's a very good Spidef wall. It can be a decent physical wall if need be. It's Dark type, so I can't get swept by Psychics. It does what it needs to defensively. It's just not a very good offensive mon. But it gives me a bulky wall to kind of lean into if I need to. I can Baton Pass with. I can Dry Pass, but I can't Baton Pass stats. But it does give me the ability to Baton Pass. I just realized I'm using the same background from TBC. Whoops. Sorry about that. It's a good background. But yeah. So I kept Umbreon. Just, bulky wall. So... don't expect it to get a lot of kills in 3 weeks, but it's just here for what it needs to. Now, with Zeraora off the board, there weren't any good ground types. I could have held on to Hippo, but points-wise, I needed to dump Hippo. And I'm running a rain team, and there's not a lot of ground types around. There's no Zeraora. The other Volt Absorbers are not the greatest. So I went with the next best option for an electric type and a Volt Absorber, and it gives me speeds that I was missing. The true top-end speed. I got Jolteon again. I know. Thriller's going to be happy about this. A lot of people are going to say, why did you draft Jolteon? You never do well with Jolteon. Yes, you are correct. Jolteon has been drafted 4 times and has gone 0-7. Never gotten a kill. Ever. I used to ladder with Jolteon. Like, my old rain teams were Jolteon Pelipper based, and then I slowly switched out of them to Zeraora Politoads, just because they're superior. But, with Zeraora gone, and Electric type being very scary versus my team, I went ahead and grabbed Jolt here, so I can Volt Absorb. Jolteon also gets Weather Ball, and again, that's base 100, rain boosted, or if Sun is up, Sun, or HP Fire, HP Ice, and HP Rock. So, Weather Ball, really, really nice. Umbreon gets Weather Ball too, so I could run Weather Ball if need be on Umbreon. But no, I watched Duncan use Jolteon, and it gave me some new ideas, and we'll see if Jolteon on rain can work. I literally am still seeking my first ever career kill with Jolteon, and I've been playing for 2 years at this point, so we'll see how it goes. But Jolteon is a backup, basically does everything Umbreon does, but is more offensive. So tier 5, grabbed Golurk, dropping Goodra. The reason I went for Golurk, I needed ground type. I didn't have a Ghost Stab either, so I had no spin block, even though I don't have a lot of hazards. This does give me rocks. If the thing gets a rock polish off, it can be kind of threatening as well. Like rock polish weakness policy, I think, is a standard Ranbat set that you can run into, which is really annoying. It's a good physical attacker. It does give me a ground type to help if Jolteon has a bad matchup. I have the ground type to absorb electric hits. It's by no means going to be good at doing anything else besides that, just because it's very slow and not the bulkiest thing in the world. Also, I've used every single mon on this team so far. Before Golurk, you have to go way back to, I might have been pre-recording days, but I know I've used Golurk one other time. Cut to end of season where I'm putting in the Battle League stats, has not ever used Golurk. Oops. But so now we get to the G-Max slot. And the G-Max, like I said, there was not a lot of G-Max left. I'm actually going to pull the doc right now. Leagues, VBL, just so I can remember, because I don't remember tiers. So, Alcremie, Butterfree, Centiskorch, Dreadnought, Lapras, Kingler, Machamp, Eevee, Meowth, and I could have switched my Duraludon for G-Max Duraludon, but that was it. Those were the only G-Maxes available. So, and I didn't want to use, I had Kingler originally, and I didn't want to use Kingler. Yeah, Kingler on Rain is pretty good, but I decided to grab G-Max Dreadnought instead. It's one of the G-Maxes that was on my list of G-Maxes to use before leagues ban G-Max. Yes, I know, it takes away its weather very quickly when you use a rock move or an ice move. I fully understand that. Again, I literally based my team off of as much of what I could get from Duncan's WBE team. Just because I saw how he did there, and I know that I can potentially maybe have a little bit of success like he did. I could only hold the Pokeball, unfortunately. No Rindo, no weakness policy, no... So grass types, I need to remove grass types before I big boy, but in Rain, it's a very lethal Swift Swimmer. Yes, if I use a water... Well, using a water type move, I get rocks. So, again, another way to set rocks, because I don't do that very well with my teams, but I do know that I'm very quickly going to get rid of my Rain at times, just because if I go for a max Rockfall, I set up Sandstorm instead. If I go for a max Hailstorm off of Ice Fang or something like that, I set up Hail instead. So it's good for all the mons that get Weather Ball, but it's bad for Dreadnought. It's not ideal. I would have rather had a different G-Max, but because of what was left, G-Max Dreadnought just made the most sense for a Rain team. It's by no means a bad mon. It's very tanky. It can hit very, very hard. Just doesn't like Blades of Grass is all. So, but yeah, G-Max Dreadnought. Looking forward to it. I know it's done a lot of work for Damien in WWC, so hopefully I can capture some of that magic and have some fun with this bad boy. Next up is Sylvari. Sylvari's not a mon that I particularly have cared for in the past. I'm going to give it a second try here and see how it turns out. But gives me, it's all type Sylvari, so I can bring whatever type I want. It does have a good move pool with the ability to take advantage of its different typings. The one thing, multi-attack did get boosted to 120 base power, so that's even better. It doesn't have the greatest move pool for every type of Sylvari, but there are some that are definitely in good position. It does give me Parting Shot for momentum. I can U-turn with it. Jolteon Volt switching. So I have a lot of momentum going on my team. It does also get U-turn as well. So we'll see. Sylvari kind of fits the role of, hey, you need this typing? Okay, we'll use Sylvari to fill that type. Like, I don't have a fire type. Just spoilers, I didn't get a fire type on this team. So if I need a fire type, okay, Sylvari Fire. Off we go. Or Sunny Day Whimsicott and then Weather Ball everything. That's going to be the story of this season. Weather Ball, the season. But no, Sylvari's nice, base 95 speed. It's as close to 100 as I could get. I do have a massive jump between Whimsicott and Sylvari, but there was really nothing I could do about that. Again, Galardex's speed tiers suck. So, but we got Sylvari. This is mainly the reason why I went and flipped to Rain, was because Goodra was still there, and I've been trying to get a hold of Goodra and figure out how to use Goodra since NCL Season 5 ended. I love Goodra. I used to hate Goodra. I love Goodra. It is so specially thick. It just tanks special hits. It's got the good move pool to run either physical or special back. And it's a good versatility mon. It doesn't have to be in rain either. Like, hydration is nice, but, Gooey's an option for speed control. And Sap Sipper is really nice because, G-Max Dreadnought does not like the grass type hits. I go into Goodra, Sap Sipper. If I'm physical Goodra, +1 attack is very, very nice at times when I start firing off Earthquake and Power Whip and Dragon Claw and all that. I do like Goodra. It is a very good rain mon and very good dragon outside of rain. So very happy for Goodra to be on the team. I did keep Wheezing. I've never used Wheezing before, but I did decide to keep it. It gives me T-Spikes. It does get Defog courtesy of Galarian Wheezing knowing it. It does have the ability to run Neutralizing Gas as well, so I can take away abilities if need be, which would help with opposing T-Spikes because then I can take them. The problem is I do lose Levitate when I do that. Levitate's nice because it does help Jolteon and Dreadnought with ground-type hits coming back at it. So, I don't know. I've never used Wheezing. I just know it's a defensive tank and can be very annoying with Will-O-Wisp and T-Spikes. Also gets Pain Split, so the thing does, never die at times. So, it'll be a nice bulky nuisance mon. And then last but not least, a mon that I've also never used, Durant. I know I complained about Hustle and Dracozolt and missing Hustles. So what I do, I went and picked up Durant with Hustle. Durant's just such a physically offensive mon. When it hits, it just wins. When it misses, that can be a game sometimes. Live and die by Hustle Durant hitting or missing, but I don't know. It's a mon that greatly appreciates the rain because it gets severely beat by fire types, and rain helps reduce that problem. Not a lot, but it helps mitigate a little bit. Maybe with an Akaberry you can actually live a hit. But no, Durant finishes my Fairy Steel Dragon Core. I don't know. I'm interested to see. I had a lot of fun with Banded First Impression Haxorus and APA, so we'll see how Durant with First Impression can do, and just kind of how Durant goes. I've never used Durant on a rain team. It's a mon that I've been wanting to try, but, I was waiting for a rain team to come around because Sun, you don't want Durant. Sand, Durant's okay, but really you need Durant for a rain team. So, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So, that's going to be the team. Let me know down below what you guys think. If you think I'm going to be able to pick up any wins in the 3 weeks, if I can make playoffs, who you think is going to be our short season kill leader. And all that good stuff. And I will see you guys next time.